Hey, how you
Hey,
doing today, Lex?
I'm doing very good. Super exciting. Episode 71. We got two episodes of The Acolyte, and I know we are both huge fans of it, so it's been a good week for Star Wars fans, especially Star
Very,
Wars Funko Pop
very excited.
fans.
Yeah, I'm very excited for today. Unfortunately, probably all of our fans out there and anyone in our chat might notice we're missing one. So Chris had a little bit of emergency to attend to today. So if we can ask any thoughts and prayers, send Chris's way. Um, and we hope you're okay and your wife's okay. And that's we're thinking of you, buddy. But other than that, let's get on some really fun things to talk about. So we've got a new show, right? Everyone's doing their reaction videos, which I'm excited again. It helps all of our friends and the creators out there having some, content and some more likes, views, and hopefully more subs. As well as I just think we're excited. We were talking about prior to getting on. I think that we're both very excited for what we're getting. And we could talk about that a little bit more. Because I'm kind of curious, I want to hear your thoughts on it. And I also kind of want to hear your thoughts on a lot of the backlash and negativity that we're seeing. Because I don't know where it comes from. I really don't. So love to get your opinions on that as well today. So I guess we should start it off on our pop report.
No need to report that to him until we have something to report.
So, up first, we have a rumor that we've kind of seen before, which is of some Ahsoka pops. So, Ahsoka the White, Sabine helmeted with a lightsaber, which I think is a plus, because I think before it just said Sabine. Then we got Ezra with the lightsaber, which the lightsaber was an ad. Same thing with Anakin with the red lightsaber, which was also an ad. And then the Ezra Disguise exclusive is a completely new one. So the original list only had 4 on there. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, when I saw this come out, I was like, when I first saw it, I thought it was Ahsoka. I was like, they're doing Ahsoka with the space mask and spacesuit, but I was like, oh no, it's Sabine. But I think we've seen similarly to this where she has the mini with the helmet with the blasters. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping it's something like that where she's got maybe a blaster in one hand, lightsaber in another. I don't know, but I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Ahsoka the White. What could that look like? Because we got her with the full. Is it going to be more just a white tunic and stuff? That kind of half robe thing she wears. Is she going to be reaching out with her hand using the force, talking to the Purgle? I'm curious how they're going to pose that one because you
Yeah.
and I both, I think, one of our most favorite of all the Star Wars Funko Pops is the Ahsoka the White, which is that Amazon exclusive. So that's going to be
Absolutely.
one. I'm really curious because that's one of my favorites. So this could top that possibly. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I think it'll be a cool opportunity too for people who may not have been able to get their hands on the Amazon exclusive one to get this one, but I'm kind of hoping it's maybe her with like the white robes rather than kind of like the cloak. So that way you could see a little bit more of that design because I feel like they've done a very good job lately with like textures and patterns. So almost kind of like what they show in this image. Like I feel like that would be perfect. Like that kind of like really just the robes and the or
With
not
the
really
both
the
the
robes, but like
lightsabers out,
yeah.
right? Where she just
Yeah,
got done
like, just
hacking
all
through.
white. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice and white. I just all white would be cool, I think. It makes Ahsoka pop, like, especially with her skin tone, the face paint, like, I think that, like, look literally right in that image would be perfect.
It's beautiful because let's be honest, we haven't seen white tunics like that since High Republic,
It's
kind of, right?
yeah. Well,
So
even then, all white, I don't think has ever like, even in High Republic, I mean, they have white, but there's, like, white and tan, like, I feel like
white
Ahsoka's really the
tan and
first Jedi
gold.
we see with all white, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of cool. It's very
Yeah,
Gandalf the white kind of take it. We got Ahsoka trending through, so I'm
very
excited.
much.
Ezra with the lightsaber,
Mhm.
yes, because he's gonna have that like chainmail and all that. That'll look dope. Anakin's a red lightsaber. I mean, that I think we all, when we did our top 5 wants or wishes from that last season, that was one we all wished for. And they really don't have to do too much. I think if they took the pop that had the red Sith eye, or yellow Sith eyes, kind of utilized that, redid that pop, maybe give him a red lightsaber in hand. That would be dope. I'd take that. You know, even if it's a reuse of the sculpt, because I know even if they try, at least the body and texture might get improved upon. So I'm
Yeah.
psyched for that. And then Ezra Disguise, that's got to be him in the Night Trooper.
Yeah. I hope it's with the helmet off, though. I feel
I'm
like it would
hoping
have
he's
to be.
holding the helmet. I'm hoping he's got it away to where he's holding it. That would be top tier if
Yeah,
he's got
that would
that.
be perfect. And we got Rolando in the chat. How you doing?
Hey, Rolando.
And we got Rogue Squadron. Hello there. I think it would be amazing if Funko created a Kalnaka Pop holding a lightsaber or something. Yeah, I think so. I think, this week we'll kind of get to see a little bit more of Kalnaka, hopefully, based off where we left off in episode 2, but we'll talk about it a little later. But I thought getting to see him was awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. And then some more kind of rumors, I guess, which I think a lot of people are excited about, is some Knights of the Old Republic exclusives. So a Darth Malgus, a Darth Tyrannus, an HK-47, and a T3M4. So
I don't know. I can't recall what the TMM4 is. I'm not sure what that one is, but the HK-47, that's going to be a cool one. That's going to be a really cool looking one. And either the Sith, the Darth Trayaus and Malgus, I'm up for either of those. Malgus, I think more so because I've seen him in the game, from when I played, but I don't play it as often, and I haven't played this game in years.
yeah, I haven't really either. So it's a droid, so it looks like that.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. It's kind of like a dog droid, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of does. With the head of that droid from I keep thinking the actress who was in Fleabag, but she did was it L7, the droid that was in Solo. It kind of has that kind of head stuff, that T3M4 droid, which I thought was kind of interesting. I didn't realize that. But yeah, you know what? The Gaming Greats line from GameStop has been phenomenal. So when I see this, I definitely think it's going that route, even though they haven't said who, but it's got to be Gaming Greats. So
yeah,
they've been knocking them out of the park. I still haven't gotten that Darth what is it? Darth, that's not Darth Malgus, is it? Who the other one that no, is the new one that released from the Old Republic, Nihilus, Darth Nihilus, and that Darth Scion. I have not seen those yet at my GameStop.
I have not either, but they also haven't been officially announced by Funko. But I mean, I'm kind of assuming that the all exclusive means it's gonna be GameStop because they're really the only ones that are doing those kind of pops. So I feel like that totally just kind of falls in line with the gaming grades. But I think it's excited that. Well, I think I'm excited, and a lot of other people are excited because we're finally making our way and getting new characters from other things rather than the same character multiple times.
I think that's what's exciting for this, right? If you're a Star Wars fan and a Funko collector, this is that series that is breaking the mold, right? We're getting new. It's not another Grogu. It's not another Din Djarin. You know what I mean? It's not another Bo-Katan. So I'm excited. I think I have 7 I would like to get that other Bo-Katan, but I'm like, I've got 7 already. But I just love the character. I love the details of her helmet. And I don't know if I was telling you guys, you and Christopher last time, after pulling all those Bo-Katans out the other week when we were talking about them, I did notice when I was first looking at them that the helmet from the first one to the even more recent one that was released, each time that helmet gets more weathered. And I only noticed it when I had them all together. So I thought that was a neat little small detail that most of us probably miss, so.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I think it's cool that we're finally kind of expanding. And then the last rumor that we got before some actual leaks is some more Andor pops. So I feel like this is super late to the punch.
I do, but you know what? I wonder if they're going to do this, and are
Maybe
they
for
going to
season
be what
2.
we've already seen, or are these going to be to hype up the next season, or are these going to come out during next season? Because we know Kino Loy is to make an appearance in season 2, so obviously someone gave him a floaty, or some floaty wings. when he jumped into the water. So he's obviously survived. So when I saw this too, I was wondering, is it something we're seeing for that next? And obviously, it's rumor, and we're going to see it months later, as it seems to be happening. But I would like another Cassian. And if you're going to do Cassian and Kino, give us a 2-pack in the One Way Out pack. That would be great. Luthen, love to have that one. And Marva, I don't know about that one. If you do a Marva, I think it would be cool if they made it like a
hologram.
Yeah, like not even just like the regular glow, make it like translucent. That would be cool.
I mean, they can do it. They've done it with the sodas and stuff, but I feel like out of her like entire character arc, I feel like that speech was kind of like the most impactful. So I feel like if 100%. I did want a pop of her, it would be from that moment. How they would do it, I don't know. It could be like the Black series where they kind of have them like, I don't know, like kind of go like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, my initial thought was like, wow, this is super late to the punch. We're about to get season 2 here shortly. I kind of assumed these were from season 1, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like a super early rumor for season 2.
Yeah, but even I would rather have Bix over Marva. We never got a Bix. You know what I mean? Like, she's a lot cool of her character. I mean, Marva had something very powerful to say at the finale, 100%. And that's, I think, why I say if we see that, I'd rather have a hologram, because everything else, there are very small pieces that really help the other character grow. You didn't see that character. The only time you see the character grow was when she's obviously passed, and now she left a recorded message to spread. Like she said, she's been sleeping, but you can't. You're still alive. Don't sleep. Screw the Empire. Kind of thing. So I don't know. I'd be excited, but I definitely want a Luthen one for sure. And I'm hoping the Cassian and the Kino Loy are going to be One Way Out in the prison uniforms. That'd be great.
I mean, that's what we've been asking for, and I think that's like what we've kind of all said for like our top 5 when it came out. But yeah, I just find it interesting that like it's so after the fact that we're getting these rumors of not even like just Andor, but like season 3 of The Mandalorian. Like, I feel like it's just like a trend. But then there's some series that they're so on top of, like Ahsoka, they were super on top of. Like right before the series dropped, or like within a week of it dropping, we had pops. Same thing with the Acolyte. But then you have stuff like this, so I don't understand why there's such like a drastic polar opposite.
Huge gaps, and no one's talking about Andor right now. So nobody. It's off everyone's radar at the moment. I think there's more hype for the upcoming Skeleton Crew than there is season 2 of Andor.
Yep.
So I just again, maybe this is a nice rumor. Someone spilled some tea to the Scarlet Joker, and he's got his ear to the ground and just letting us all know. I'm cool with it, but I'm a fan. You know what I mean? Like, so again, I do get disappointed, much like you and Christopher, like when it's not around the time of the show or the movie, you kind of miss the excitement of it. I think we're being collectors, we kind of buy with our emotions. So what better time if you're marketing to us than to strike while the iron's hot. So I don't know.
So in the caption, it says coming next year. So that kind of makes me think maybe season 2. Because if they're doing next year for season 1, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then you're thinking Marva, well, she unless she's
maybe they're like
flashback scene. But I think she served her purpose. I don't think she's going to continue in season 2. There's no need to have her in season 2, really,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of crazy because it released in 2022. So it's been, come September, it'll be 2 years. If you add another year, that's 3 years since season 1. And if these are season 1 pops 3 years later.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that's really kind of dragged out. But yeah, collectors, and we've said it all the time, collectors are impulsive. If we really like something and then you drop some dope merch, we're going to go pick it up. But if you drop it 3 years later, I'm going to be like, yeah, I don't think I really need that. I don't feel that connection to it. If you drop it the day of, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to head out to Target real quick, pick up some batteries and some Funkos and come back.
Correct. Like, I think they would have even done better to put these out closer to May 4th.
Yeah,
There a little bit you could have read the Star Wars Day hype, the whole
something.
but they did a good job at least with getting the 25th anniversary out to us in that time.
Yes.
Lego killed it with all their releases of stuff
Yep.
for May the 4th. So I just think that it's just kind of interesting, seeing like Hasbro, Lego, Funko, where they're all dropping. I do see from the last rumors that we talked about last week, where it had a lot of like the Darth Vader, the Palpatine. We're starting to, and I don't know if it's just me. I feel that we as collectors are really seeing a turn to more dark side stuff, which I'm totally for, because
Yep.
even we see that from Cos Babies and the other stuff that
Sideshow.
Hot Toys is putting out, those little mini ones that are kind of going after the mini Funkos, the minifig Funkos. So, and that they have a whole dark side wave. They have a whole hologram wave, kind of like the Hasbro Black Series has got their holographic figures. I'm
Yep.
hoping, we see Funko kind of not always jump on that same train, but to get kind of closer to the fact that when
Yeah.
all these products are releasing, they are releasing around the same time. So it's kind of like, you've got your show, you can go out and relive it with your movie moment, your Funko Pop, your action figure. I don't know. I just think that we're missing the boat, when we do it too late.
Yeah, and it's also tough though, because I feel like, I mean, we've kind of talked about it before, like maybe Funko kind of just really relying on like these other people to kind of leak things so that way they don't have to do it. But like we got the announcement, I think it was like May 4th, of all the new Mandalorian pops, with like the Force Shield and stuff like that, or even
Yeah.
really the Praetorian Guard and stuff like that, and the Zeb. Then, like a month later, really 5 days ago, Funko finally acknowledged that those are official.
Yeah.
Like over a month later.
I figured they're official when I pre-ordered them on Amazon already.
Yeah. But like
Yeah,
for Funko to
if
then
I can
after
go order
that,
them, it's official.
yeah. I mean, yeah, once you pre-order them, it's official, but I feel like it's almost like Funko's responsibility to be like, hey, this is coming out. Like, not just rely on Diss Tracker, Funko Info, Scarlet Joker, like all these other people to
Hey,
post
you know
more
what? Maybe we
stuff.
should do an episode, where we actually shop and for our pre-orders before Funko announces them. Be like, so, are these official or not? We'll just, do our pre-orders online with
Yeah.
our, guests and stuff. I don't know, but maybe they're waiting for some like UGC kind of content from the the Popcast. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know what's going on with it, but it's definitely very interesting to me.
We got Ricky from Pop the Bounty Collector going,
Yeah.
"You're good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ricky.
You're
He's Yearn from all our channels.
yes.
Thank you.
Lex in the
Lex
house.
in the house.
Lex is in the house for sure. And I guess kind of like the most important news this week that we got are some Acolyte pops. So we have an Osha, a Chimera, a Yord, Jedi Master Soul, and then this guy or girl, I don't really know, but what
Basil?
Basil? That's a character that we haven't seen yet. So I don't know if that was kind of like a little like
Yeah, a little leak.
yeah, like
Yeah,
who is that little
I haven't seen
character?
this character yet. Yeah,
I haven't either. I mean, it looks really cool, but like, who is that? And
I
are they holding
know.
bananas or something? Like, maybe we'll see them in episode 3 if those were
He
bananas.
looks, yeah, it almost, at first I was like, did someone slip in a Visions pop in this week? Like, what is that? I
I
couldn't
don't
tell.
know.
But I'll be honest. I think I would have rather than have Basil. I think there should be May in that lineup.
Yeah, I was kind of
Like big
shocked that
time.
we got an OSHA before we got a May, because we've known about May for a very long time. Like ever
That's
since they started
the whole premise has
advertising
been
it.
about May. Yeah.
Yeah, and now then like OSHA kind of popped up and we were like, oh, there's a twin thing. So, but to have an OSHA pop before a May pop, I was kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I am a
Agreed.
huge fan of the May pop because she's holding Pip.
Yes. I almost think Pip should be his own pop.
Yeah,
He's pretty cool. He's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that little droid, and he's so versatile, or whatever.
That's something I hope if you're Disney that you think about the fandom like really reacting to this and make that something that you could do at Droid Builders.
Yeah, like put it as like a pre-built Droid Depot thing.
Yeah.
And go
Or
for
you
it.
know,
I
make
would buy
make
it.
it so obviously the head comes off, right? So
Mhm.
do it in a way that the head can come off, and you can swap out the body, the head, and maybe a faceplate or something. Between those three things, you could have a faceplate on the headpiece and one on the body piece, and have different colors and different molds for the base part of them, and then swap them out. That'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, these pops all look absolutely phenomenal. They look super detailed. I really like the Jedi robes on them. Like, I think those are
Yeah.
probably the most impressive. They've got, I
I,
feel
I
like
love you. I
yours,
love Yord's hair. Love
yeah,
it.
I feel like his hair is gonna be so detailed. They even got his little earring in it. Like, but I do think it's interesting that they're all wearing black gloves, and that was something that someone pointed out that I didn't pick up on until I like rewatched it last night. But they're all wearing black gloves.
What? I didn't even
Like,
notice that.
yeah, they have black gloves on. Like, when they kind of go out on their mission, they have the black gloves on. Almost kinda like they are detectives and they can't touch anything at the crime scene, so they got their gloves on, but I
Or maybe
didn't pick
like
up
old, like kind of old Western. The cowboys,
yeah,
had gloves on a lot. That's
yep, they've
interesting.
got black gloves on.
I
So I
didn't
don't
even
know.
pick up on that detail.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I love them. I
And
mean,
the
but
robes
Yord
too.
right now, out of all of them, I think Yord's got the best pose, the best movement in the sculpt,
Yeah, I
the
mean, look at this.
hair. And me, I'm a sucker. I love the yellow lightsaber. I've been sporting my yellow lightsaber since Galaxy's Edge trip. I couldn't wait to swap out the blue kyber for yellow. So very pumped that we've got that. That's something I'm very excited about.
Yeah,
I might have to buy a second one and do a head swap with my own bobblehead.
do it. Might as well. But yeah, I think they all look absolutely phenomenal. Even this mystery character, I kinda love it.
Awesome. Looks
Like,
awesome.
I kinda really love it. I love Soul. He's got, like, his hair kinda pulled back behind the ear a little bit, like, I mean, his stance, it's like, okay, but I don't know, you don't really see him doing anything, like, super crazy. Like, you see Yord in this pose. Master Soul, I feel like most of the time he's very reserved and, like, very calculated in his movement, so that pose almost makes sense.
It does. I agree. 100% agree.
And yeah, but the thing that I would like to see though is because we did get to see that in the first episode when she has that interaction with Endara, is if we do get a May pop, it would be cool to maybe have like the hair moved a little bit so you can see the thing on her forehead that she had. Did you pick up
Oh.
on that in episode 1? Because she like moves her back and then as she's like holding her, she like kind of moves her hair a little bit and there's like a white thing on her forehead. I don't know what that's,
Oh.
like, indicative of, but she was like, "It's you," and, like, saw it, and I was like, "Interesting."
Maybe it's a birthmark that can identify the one from the other.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense because a lot of people were saying that. They were like, "Maybe it'd be cool if, like, one had, like, a dimple or one had, like, a mole or something to, like, kinda distinguish it," and I was like, "They're being played by the same person," but, yes, I guess you could add something distinguishing, but I haven't seen it on OSHA. We did see it on May, though, so I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe that's the
but
distinguisher?
even OSHA's outfit, it's kind of got that reminiscent of like a X-wing pilot or a rebel pilot somehow with
Mhm.
that kind of vest and the overalls. But I like the colors of it. That kind of teal green with the off white really goes well. Pip in the hand, good pose. It was good. And the hair is going to be redonkulous in the detail. Look at the braid.
Yeah,
It just even in the concept, the braids look great. So for
something to
me,
keep an
I'm very much like you. I really want to see May, whether and I'd love to have since we have OSHA without the thing, I want May to have the like the ninja kind of cover up mask. I think it
yeah, or
would
you
look
could do,
cool.
like, a chase, one with, one without kinda thing, maybe,
Ooh.
but I feel like they're just so not doing, like, Star Wars chases anymore, like, I feel like that's, like, so, like, few and far in between, but because 'cause there's been multiple opportunities for some chases, and I think there's only, like, 4 or 5 really.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's tough.
It's weird because they do chases of some other random IP stuff,
Yeah,
and
like a
then Star
pork.
Wars has not as much lately.
Yep.
This guy, I, I- I've got mixed feelings on this guy. Like
Keimer.
yeah, I thought he was kind of cool, but I feel they're trying to throw us off, meaning kind of making him kind of like a loose goose drunk guy passing out. I think that's in him trying to make him look lazy. I think that's all misdirection because I don't know if you got it, but when he went up to Osha and kind of like, you look just like her. And then when they stormed in, he went to being quirky and weird again. Did you notice that? Like, it was like all of a sudden, but it wasn't like he was like calling her out as an imposter. It was like he was mesmerized. Like someone that's been studying the other person and now sees their twin. To me, it just seemed very strange. And he seemed to fight off May a little bit when she came after him when they're trying to escape off the planet, fought her off. So she's talking to him like they know, like he knows of the master that she's talking about or their master. So is it kind of like the Inquisitorium where, to be an Inquisitor, you guys can fight it out, throw a lightsaber in the ring, and which one of you guys are going to be my acolyte? No idea. Or is this guy kind of being like Senator Palpatine, where he's actually the Emperor, and he's in our face from day one. And again, we don't know, and it's going to be we're getting misdirection to then surprise us. I don't know. I'm not going to take it off the table though. I think there's something more to this guy.
Yeah, I mean, at like my first watch, I was like, oh, this guy's just like a drunk loser, like blah blah blah. But I was like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they throw in these like red herrings where like you kind of just write him off as a drunk character, but then they come back. But I've seen other people's kind of like reviews and breakdowns, like maybe he is the masked guy. Maybe he is also like been paired up with May because they're both trying to become the acolyte. Or maybe like both of them are neither of them are going to become the acolyte and it's someone else completely. So I don't know, because the way he kind of like talks about it, like, the master, like you need to, I was like, how does he like know this? Like your master would be proud.
Yeah.
Like if you're just a smuggler and like a potion maker, I don't know.
Yeah, that seemed kind of very right. Yeah. It seemed very. He seems to be a gun smuggler for the Hutts. So he's a jack of a lot of trades, but all of a sudden he's can be an apothecary. Yeah, I didn't get all that. Yeah,
recited something Sithy, like when he was making that potion too. Yeah, and I was like,
And he also pointed out the one weakness that one Jedi Master is going to have.
Yeah,
he seems to know a lot for a little side bit character, in my opinion. Like very drunkard. Preachy to May. Like he's not obviously her instructor, but maybe he is playing this character to get closer to her, to help even lead her when she's not in front of him as the big baddie. I don't know. That's right. That's what I feel. I'd hate it to be so easy like that because I'd rather it be somebody else behind the mask, like someone we don't know. Maybe it's someone from Legends. I don't care. But I know, just to, again, so that not everything's connected. We do get more expanse, more characters. So I don't know. That's why I'm kind of torn on this one. But I did pre-order all but Basil. Because I figured if I see him in a while, I'll pick him up.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I wasn't even going to get Quimir, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick him up. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get a May, and then Ricky said that May is probably going to be like a hot topic, or maybe like a books exclusive, or even possibly like an SDCC exclusive. So, I mean, I would hope so because but I'm almost
they've been announcing some of those leaks and stuff, and there isn't a Star Wars one in the bunch.
There isn't. They're slowly kind of trickling out, and I keep seeing, and I'm looking, and I'm like, no Star Wars, of course. And then we got my bud Lack in the chat. Hello, friends. Hello, Lack.
Hello there.
But yeah, that was pretty much all of the rumors and leaks and stuff that we got. No official news, but I think all around it was pretty good. Not so dry this week. So.
Yeah, and I actually did a quick little reel that I posted because J-Riz that we've had and talked about with his concepts did some concepts. So I said, who did it better? J-Riz or Funko? And I want to say J-Riz because he had a lot of these, which I thought was right on the money, to be expected. But he has a phenomenal looking May, phenomenal. So and Kanaka. So again, I just thought that was something that you, as a Funko collector, what characters we've been talking about? No one has known of Basil yet. Basil. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna all like, oh, cool character or adorable character that we're gonna enjoy later, but not having heard nothing of him, and I have been teased, and I have seen Kanaka. I don't get it. I don't get
Or
it.
even like Indara, to be honest. Like, like we don't know who this character is, and maybe that was just like a misstep in like the leak, having it be leaked early, but yeah, not like a Kalnaka, not an Indara, not a May, but we have a character that we've never seen before, like in a single trailer.
Yeah, I was
I don't
kind of
know.
taken back, by Indara. Not real. I thought we'd at least have her for a few episodes. So within the first 10 minutes, I was like,
6 minutes she was dead.
yeah, I'm like, is that what Leslie was talking about? Which she's like, you have no idea what the story's about, because when they, and I'm like, they just took out Trinity. I was like, what? Like, no way! Like, oh my gosh! So yeah, that was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
I mean, Lack actually called it. We were on a panel, like, kind of talking a little bit before the Acolyte dropped, and he was like, "Yeah, I think she's gonna die." Like, first episode, and I was like, "No, like, not Carrie Ann Moss, like, not Matrix, like, it can't be."
Yeah, I think everyone was trying to decide that lightsaber that we saw in the poster with the blood, was that hers?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He was like,
Yeah.
"Yep, it's on the floor, like, it's hers."
The
So,
one thing I noticed, being a total, it just proves how camera nerdy I am, is so we've seen that scene of Indara the entire time on every trailer when she's reaching back with the Force, picking the blade up off the thing, but they color toned it differently and played at the exposure to make it look more like nighttime. Notice that when you watch the trailer, it's like a bluish purpley cast in the way they did the grading of the film at that point, and you don't see Indara, because when you see it on the show, it's obviously sunlight coming through. It's daytime, and you see Indara is like laying there on the left side with her saber. They obviously removed her out completely and then darkened it to kind of give it that nighttime feel to really throw us off. So I thought that was an interesting little snippet that I saw when I saw the show review, and I'm like, huh, God, Star Wars people on the trailers throwing us off by playing with color tones and stuff. But I
they
thought
gotta do something. Yeah. Yep. We got Lack. Awesome catching you live. Yes, it's awesome having you in the chat. And we got my buddy Salacious Rum. Hello, Special Lady Lex, and your granddad Patrick.
Thank you, my Lord.
Rum. Hey, General Lack. Salute. Yes, they did. I think that's in reference to the lighting.
Saber was yellow in the trailer. Was it yellow in the trailer? I didn't notice that.
I didn't either. I don't know. My dad asked me about that yesterday. He was like, "When are we gonna see the whip saber?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, at some point, we only have 6 episodes left."
Yeah, I think we're gonna see it within the next 1 or 2 for sure.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, but I mean, we could jump into our kind of main discussion then.
Yeah, why don't we get into that, and we'll get the tier maker up.
Magnificent, aren't they?
Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Sorry, I think I hit it with my finger. Just tapped my trackpad. So we have a tier maker that we did for what we were thinking our top 5 characters that we would want in a Funko Pop form. And these are just straight screenshots from the show itself. And I figured like you and I were talking, why don't we, as we start going through talking about the show, likes, dislikes, and as we're pulling these characters up, we could talk about what we liked, didn't like, why this character or this scene was so cool. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, it sounds good. And we definitely want to hear from you guys in the chat too, what you thought about it, if you liked it, didn't like it. Just let us know. Keep the conversation flowing for sure.
Absolutely, because I like we were alluding to at the beginning of our episode here, Lex and I are fans, and I guarantee Christopher is as well. I think he's very excited for this series. Lex, I'm curious. Give it. Let's get your overall skinny on the Acolyte. Like, dislike, what you loved. Was there anything you didn't love besides the negativity that we're hearing?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I thought the pace was perfect, which I've kind of heard people are, like, not cool with. They think it's, like, too fast paced, and I was like, "Well, we only have 8 episodes, you know? We're getting 2, we kinda need to set the ground a little bit," but I kind of liked the pace. I liked how it was just continuously moving. There was no, like, really empty down periods of it, and aside from being a big Star Wars fan, I even mentioned it kind of in my reviews, I'm, like, a huge crime fan. Like, I love SVU, stuff like that. So I feel like this show is like literally the best of both worlds for me. We're getting like a little bit of some crime
True crime.
investigation, you know, but also it being Star Wars. We're getting to see the High Republic. We're getting new characters, like new aliens, new creatures. Like I think there's just a lot of all around positives for the show. So I don't understand why there is so much dislike still. Like I mean, there was a lot of dislike beforehand, but now we've gotten 2 episodes and it's confirmed that I like it, but it's also confirmed for a lot of other people that they don't like it. And I don't know
I don't get
why.
it. Yeah, I
So
don't get it, Lex. I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
I think it looks and feels very Star Wars. Like I feel like when you're going around the set, and you're seeing the characters walk through these villages, towns, whatever.
yeah, you feel in it.
I feel like I'm there.
Yeah,
I kind of feel at many times it's almost like walking around Batu at night, where there's not many people and you can really kind of feel like you're lost in the world. Like I'm
yeah,
instantly brought into it. For all the people that hated what all the things that about Andor, right? So the fact that we have all these aliens and different species, 100% different from what we saw in Andor, right? And it felt more Star Wars in that sense,
yeah,
100% more. I think we got, another thing they complain about, no lightsabers, tons of lightsabers in this, tons,
everywhere.
right? And I just think it's cool. It feels like a Star Wars show that I've been hoping for, and I'm glad it's in a time period that we can't say, oh, well, this happens and this. Yes, there are characters that we learned from the High Republic, some new ones added, but it's kind of nice because we even have connections to what was already written about these characters. But we're at a stage now where nothing is written about this stage, so
Yeah,
no matter where we go, it's free realm to have great new story plots and new character developments and maybe things that kind of change. One of the things that I've been kind of mulling over in my head is since we learn about May and Osha being twins, is that the dyad that we haven't seen a dyad like this in generations that Palpatine talked about in Rise of Skywalker? Somehow did he learn from his former master about these two and know that something there, because that kind of childlike free dream that they have where they're both viewing each other young, very reminiscent of Kylo and Rey being able to have that kind of connectivity. I just
yeah.
thought that whole part was kind of neat, and I'd like to see where it goes. I think everybody on that whole CSI thing, like you said, really what the burning thing is, what did the Jedi do that she wants to act revenge on? What are they hiding? Like they must have done something horrible. Like,
And yeah, but the interesting thing is like Soul doesn't seem to like understand. Like I feel like Soul's kind of like not understanding. He's like, I tried to save both of you, like, but it seems like Indara, and then I forget the name of like the levitating guy that doesn't talk, but like he was like, nope,
oh,
I'm just gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna confess. Like, what the fuck did you do that just gonna kill yourself rather than confess? Like, but
yeah,
Soul,
I'm curious on that.
yeah, but Soul almost kind of seems like he's not.
I almost wondered, did they cover it up from him?
Yeah, like I almost feel like Soul was there, but not there because he clearly
Maybe
isn't
he's saving one
understanding.
of the twins and then something else went
Yeah,
really awry.
um,
Maybe it's Indara and Kanaka, and the other Jedi that you master that we had. I can't remember. I keep thinking like
it's
Tim
like
something.
Indara, Kalnaka, something with a T,
Yeah.
and then Soul. But I just feel like Soul doesn't really know because he was like, we were her saviors, like she looked up to us. but it doesn't make sense because she's like so hell bent on the four of them needing to die. So
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I'm curious. I'm curious,
Yeah.
and I thought also he mentioned to Asha when I think Yord's talking about like or maybe it was Soul that they killed your mothers. I thought that was interesting. I thought
I
that
think
was
the
interesting.
fire killed everything. Like, I think there was just a massive, I mean, from what I've gathered, there was a massive fire that Soul pretty much thought killed everybody. Her mothers, the family, the sister, like that fire just consumed everybody, but he was able to save Osha.
Yeah,
So like, that's kind of what I gathered from it, and that May was the one that set the fire, but it almost kind of seems like May didn't set the fire because she thinks someone else
and I'm
did.
still kind of
Like,
wondering how each of them think that the other one's dead.
yeah, that shook me.
That's why I feel that there's something that we're gonna see in a flashback to explain it. I don't think they were in the same place at the same time, and that's why I believe Soul seems kind of disconnected with feeling like with his feelings on the situation that happened in the past, where
Yeah.
everybody else seems kind of like shocked or worried.
Yeah, it seems a little odd, but
Yeah,
I mean, let's see. We've got some people in the chat. So we got Lack Fun Show for sure.
yeah,
There's not much to complain about in my opinion. Yep, I feel the
I
exact
agree.
same so
I
far.
agree.
Yeah, so far it's been great. I know he is a fan of the original trilogy Aliens, so I think that would be cool to kind of get some, callbacks from that.
Jason was force whip.
Mm.
You mean you
Okay.
want a force whip used on you, don't you?
Yep, no offense, but not from you, General. Or
Oh my
Granddaddy Patrick from Special Lady Lex. Okay. Saul doesn't know what happened. Salacious, we can talk after. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Saul knows what happened. But the other Jedi set the fire that killed the family.
I'm
Mm,
wondering. I'm wondering
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, Pod Racing Pops, what is up, my
Hey,
guy?
what's going on, Pod Racer?
Oh, the Green Jedi is covering up the whole thing. Vernestra, right?
Oh,
Maybe?
Vanessa Rowe,
Vernestra?
maybe.
I don't know.
I,
She seemed super sus. She's like, "You need to get back here," and he was like, "But I know where they're going. They're going after Kalnaka." She was like, "Nope, get back here right now."
we have
Like,
to have meaningful
yeah,
discussion. That to me is why people hate corporate jobs and corporate
yeah,
speak.
we have to talk
That
about
to
this.
me was something that like a corporate like we're wasting my time. I'm in the trench. I'm boots on the ground. Let me get there. And again, I think it's leaning towards the politics we see the Jedi Order fall to because that's the whole we can't say anything because we're worried about that's very much like saying we can't tell them that our ability to see through the dark side has been diminished like we're kind of getting again we're leading to the demise of where the Jedi Order
Yeah.
lost their realm. It was kind of neat to see that there's temples like kind of like lodges all around
Mhm.
the galaxy. I thought that was kind of neat.
Like
I thought
different
that,
bases and stuff. Like it seems like
yeah,
Coruscant's like the main base. This is where everyone goes to get trained, and then you get shipped out to your different deployments and stuff.
you're a
But
different
I did think
outpost.
it was yeah, I thought it was interesting, but I really liked also, like, the landscaping. I thought the cinematography was super nice, like, I just thought it was really beautiful. Same thing with, like, the choreography of some of the fight scenes, like
Yes, it felt like I'm watching a major motion picture, not a made for TV show.
yes,
100%. It felt Star Wars. 100%
it
felt
did.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Okay.
let's get into our tier list. And as we're going through, we're going to talk about more characters and scenes as it is. So let's start with our first guy here. What do we got here? This doodad. I'm just going to kind of throw him up there a little bit. What is this guy?
So I think
Oh,
he was the guy originally in the bar that got destroyed, and then they brought
yeah.
him to go identify OSHA. I don't know, I thought he was interesting. Would I need a pop of him? I don't think so, but
I wouldn't mind a pop up and just have a cool pop, but I'm wondering, and I don't know if any fans would know, is this a cameo of the bartender that we get in the Galaxy's Edge, when you do the Oculus device, that game? I have a feeling that it could be a callback to that, maybe. I don't know.
interesting.
I'm not sure. But this character, where would you put him on the tier list? Probably not an S tier or like, a high. I'd put him maybe C level.
Yeah, I think C or B. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if we get a pop of him. Is it like a pop I need to have? No. But I thought it was a cool character.
Yeah. Now, again, here's something that I would have liked to seen. We already if Funko put out a series of pops to get us pumped for the show, right? For the release, we already know from the trailer. Give us one or two, then you're releasing this. Well, what happens if, like, boom, next week they have a special one, drop Father's Day? You've got the bartender with the little child hugging his leg. Bam! I would have.
Yeah,
My wife
I
would
mean,
have bought
that would
that
be
for me,
cute. I would like that.
right?
Yeah.
My wife would have
Yeah.
bought that for me. Again, I think that would be a great opportunity if you had your ducks in a row for releasing stuff.
Got
Hey
Mr.
there,
B in
Mr.
the
B.
chat. Everyone says hello to Mr. B. Yeah, I would. Yeah, if it was a pop of him with like his little kid, that would be cute.
Yeah, and when I was thinking about this character, that's besides him just standing behind the bar or just do something like where he's either washing a glass or getting a drink, whatever, mixing a drink. If you didn't have that, the only way I would really like this is if the child's hugging on his leg. And
Yeah.
we've seen, the Anzelian and Grogu together, so they could do something like that here. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now, May, come on.
Top
That's
tier.
got to
Top
be S
tier.
tier.
Put it all the way up there. I would love to see a May pop. I mean, I think we're gonna get a May pop. When, I don't know, but I think she's a phenomenal character. I really like her and Osha. I feel like they're different, but again, I do think it's interesting that they just didn't know each other was alive. She's like, May? She's like, Osha? I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys thought for this long that you were both dead? Like, especially being force sensitive and stuff, like you couldn't like sense your twin was still alive? Like your little twin sense,
Well, in with that twin sense too, I love the rhyme that they had back and forth.
Yeah, that was cool.
So is the stars, so is the ocean below, it's me to you. I thought that was really neat because that being a Mason, that real, as above, so below is a phrase that we use. So it had a lot of that weight to it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's a really cool kind of way to delve into that.
Well, she even like at the end, she was like Oshi, and I was like Oshi, like what the like? There's so much confusion. I feel like they're kind of just drawing lines to so many different places, and we're gonna have to kind of let it unravel. Unfortunately,
yeah. I'm very pumped to see this character in Funko form as well, because I know that it's going to look phenomenal with the purple and the gold accents that this character typically has. And with the textures we've been talking about, Lex, lately, this character is going to lend very nicely to all those pieces. So I, for one, 100% agree, S tier. And we should have had this coming right from the get-go.
For sure.
I'm hoping we get a cool pose. Like either we get her kind of doing that, like, come on, take me on, which I thought that first scene when she does it and everyone at the
laughed at her
laughing, that was on point. I just, because that's what we were thinking. Like every fan watching is like, you got to be
attack
joking.
me. And they were like, what? Like I started laughing at her too. I was
I
like,
thought
okay,
that
girl.
was great. That was perfect timing on that humor piece. That was perfect. Perfect. Yes. All right. And we're going to go to Injara next. Now, I really thought this character is slick, cool, but we got less than 10 minutes of her.
Yeah, but I said the same thing.
A or S? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I feel like maybe A or S, but someone did mention, and they brought it up, that we are going to see flashbacks of her, because I was like, dude, what? Like, she's out of here in 6 minutes? Like, that's crazy. But we do see flashbacks of her in the trailer, kind of like beforehand, where I think before everything kind of burned down. So, I don't know. I mean, I loved her in Matrix. I so far have loved her in all 6 minutes of the show so far. So I would love Indara pop. Honestly, just more Jedi pops, I think, in general, are needed. So
yeah, I'd love to see some new Jedi pops. I mean, I'd love to have an Indara. I think it would be really cool. And and maybe we get a different pose. Instead of just like, with the lightsaber on her side, have her doing this pose where
Yeah,
she's
have her
coming.
hold it
Do
up.
something different. Yeah, let's mix it up a bit. Like that would be really cool. Really, really cool. I do think 100% on that idea of the flashbacks, because there was that scene where you see her putting her hand down, and she's like she's kind of using that Cal Kestis kind of ability, where she gets the sensitivity of whatever she touches and can tell.
Mm.
So I have a feeling there's something to that moment, and that has to do with everything. So yeah, definitely I agree on flashbacks. We'll still say her. I put it as A, but we could change it to S if you want to go up a notch. You tell me.
I mean, I feel like S and A, those are ones that we would want pops of. B could be like either or, maybe C or D. We're kind of like, But I mean, so far we've seen more of May than we have of Indara, so I feel like it's more like important we get a May pop. But I would like an Indara pop, so I feel like it's fine.
All right. Next we have, well, I think this is kind of like a twofer, but we've got Soul and Jackie. I think that's how you say her name, right? It's kind of like Jackie, but Jackie.
Yep,
Either one of those, so I'm looking at it as that more for Soul, because 100% I want a Soul, and we are getting one. Right?
Well, we are getting a Soul in that robe, kind of like their mission robe almost, versus his like teacher robe. So I mean, I don't know. I'd want one of both, because I like the look of those like kind of gold brown robes, but I also really like the white and light gold kind of robe.
I agree.
Too. So I don't know. But I feel like we have to put it in S because we're already getting that pop. But
True.
I would love to see Jackie. I think she's a unique looking character.
Beautiful
a lot of people are kind of
pop.
saying Darth Maul vibes. I don't see that. But I
don't
think she looked
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like with the horns on the side of her head.
I just love the color, and I
Yeah.
can only imagine her how awesome she will look with Funko. Like,
Yes,
she's just a beautiful looking character. I think it's really well done. So I definitely am hoping we're going to get a Jackie pop. I think it's cool. Definitely, we want a Soul. We're getting a Soul. We know that. So let's segue that one, because you're just mentioning it.
Yeah.
I think this would be S tier if they made it with the white.
It would. Because I think those robes are just beautiful, and we don't have a pop in that like colorway.
Yeah, that I think is going to be either an exclusive or a chase. It has to be.
I would hope. I mean, they might just do like, it might just be like an exclusive. It seems like that's kind of like Funko Star Wars kind of. They don't do chases; they do exclusives. So I don't know. I guess
I'd love to see that. So someone who wants to do an exclusive, please snatch that idea up, because that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Funko, listen, if you want to approach the Star Wars Popcast to talk about it and be your way of marketing it, we'd love to have an exclusive pop. That'd be fun.
A Popcast exclusive.
Yeah, Star Wars Popcast exclusive. We'd love to, endorse a pop like that on the show, and pimp it out for you, because that would be awesome. And what's funny is, I think this, and what I'm going to do is we're going to grab the other one similar to this. We have
Yordi.
Yord. Correct.
Well, we see him Yord singular and his Padawan.
Yes,
which is interesting.
So I didn't mind his Padawan either, but I grabbed this one for now, only because I thought this showed off, and I know it's like a thumbnail, but I thought this image frame showed off a different style of any Jedi clothing we've seen, because I love it was more medieval kind of cape thing with the different, I don't know what you call that, ribboning, the way that it was the folds in it or whatnot. Maybe it's just folds, I don't know, but I loved how it layered and laid. It looks so cool. It kind of felt really neat, really, really neat.
I almost kind of wonder if that's like how the knights wear that type of robe versus like Soul, who's a master, wears the similar type of robe. Like, I wonder if that's like the distinguishing factor between knight and master. But I don't know.
Well, I don't know, because look, if I put this one up, right, I'm going to put that right next to it.
Oh yeah, she also had kind of like
she has more like this one, the Soul one. So I don't know. I like the white and gold. I think the white and gold would be S tier
for sure.
Because it's just so unique. I mean, That really screams High Republic to me.
Kalnaka.
Pod Racer Pal, we need Kalnaka in Life Day robes. Oh, maybe
Yep.
we could get that this year instead of recycling Chewie again. That would be cool.
With his little
That
ponytail.
would be cool. All right. How about Venestra Rowe?
I mean, I would put her in A just because I feel, but I don't know. I feel like she could also be S. But I didn't read the High Republic books and comics, so I know there's like a lot of lore surrounding her character.
She's a badass. She's
To
a
me,
badass.
she's just sus because I haven't read anything. I've only seen her in the 2 episodes so far, and she's definitely very sus.
Yeah,
So I'm
all
like,
I've done is
I
the
don't
first
know.
book. I only
Yeah.
did the first book.
But I know she's like a great character. I know there's a lot of lore surrounding her character. Like it's a big deal that she's on screen. So I think a lot of people would be excited to have her as a pop. Maybe it could be like her with the light whip.
I'm kind of interested. Yeah, I hope that's what I'm holding out for.
That could
Light
be
whip.
cool.
I want light whip, 100%. Don't give me this,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason I'm
Like
gonna
her just,
say A, because
yeah,
we need light whip. We need light whip.
yeah. I think
But
that would
it's
be.
interesting. She doesn't have hair now. When I first saw that, it kind of like
She
okay,
does have hair?
dude. In the
I don't
book, she
think
has like
so.
purple locks.
So she's like bald now.
Yeah, and notice where her hair is. She's got the tattoos. They're not on the under the eye. It was under eye, I don't nose and chin. Usually those little diamondy kind of marks. Because she's the same as I thought Luminara and Barris. I thought she was of the same species. So I
Yeah,
thought that
she
was
kind of
kinda
has like the diamonds, but I
yeah,
thought
like a
she also
tattoo of
kind
a
of has them
diamond.
on like the eyes.
But I'm hoping I know right now she's only A, and I think she'd probably make S tier once we see her in action with a light whip. Because one of the things from the novels and stuff, she became a knight at 15. Like she was like
Yes.
badass, like the youngest to ever get knighted
Yep.
in the order. So I think right and now we're seeing her where maybe she had all these great adventures in her youngin days to embolden her to become a good leader. And now the order has really looked up to her into that leadership role. And maybe that's her demise is maybe she's really great at being Jedi stuff, but this whole public image of the Jedi, like she's almost like the PO,
Yeah.
person.
Well,
I
she
don't
even
know.
mentioned that too. She was like, because when she went to go tell Soul that like Indara was dead and probably at the hands of his former Padawan, she was like, but we got to keep this under wraps, because if we let this get out, it's not going to be a good look.
Yeah,
And I was
same
like,
same with Yoda and
girl,
Windu having that conversation,
yeah, they're
in the
very.
prequels. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's why I feel, and I agree with a lot. One, it's funny, a lot of fans noticed it, but the character that plays Soul actually said he envisioned the character really taking more on of a Qui-Gon, which I very much got that vibe from him.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care for the BS of the council, it appears. Like he doesn't, he's in it, and I think he's personally invested. And he's got attachments which they don't like why are you looking at your old, photos of your old apprentices and Padawans. I have he just seems so much more like Qui-Gon than any other Jedi we've had. Which is refreshing because he's not just a follower, he's a true leader, and
Yeah.
and the humblest thing I think Soul has said is when he was talking to Osha and she's like, I guess I wasn't good student. He goes, well, maybe that's not it. Maybe I wasn't such a great teacher. And I was like, poof, hit me. That hit me right there. I was like, God, like, that's so good that you can admit that. Like, I love that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Take my money, Disney Plus, because I love this show. All right. So these guys, we have not seen a Trade Federation Nemoidian alien. I'm going to put this as at least A.
A.
A? You're thinking B?
I was kind of thinking like, I just feel like if we were to get a pop of them, we would have gotten it for like Phantom Menace.
C?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I was at. I mean, we can meet in the middle with like
No,
B.
I get, I agree. Because
Like,
if I got to finally get one, I'd rather have the one like New Gunray from Phantom Menace,
yeah,
100%.
But I did think it was cool though that they were like, yeah, we gotta fix the shields, even though we haven't used the shields in forever. Like, why would they need the shields fixed? And I was like, well, we know why. There's gonna be a blockade here shortly. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it was cool kind of getting that reference, but I think if we were to get any, like, it would have been from Phantom Menace. But I think it's a
No,
cool kind of like
you're probably
call
right.
back a little bit.
You're probably right. I do like them just because it would be a great sculpt, a great alien.
Oh yeah, it would be a phenomenal sculpt.
What's Salacious out there saying now? I just saw him pop something in the chat.
Salacious doesn't like that green one. She seems suspicious. There's only one green special lady for me. Ooh. Oh. Oh no. I think I just banned him on accident.
What? No.
I think I clicked the wrong button. Okay.
Sorry about that, Salacious.
My bad, my guy. I'll figure that out. Anyways, we'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving.
Sorry, brother. Anyway, that's so funny. So I think we had, is this another? I think we had two. Yeah. So this is the other Nemoidian. And honestly, I whether it's male or female, one would have been fine. So I'd put this as a D.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're one and the same. They were like together.
Yeah. All right. I'll put them together. You're right. All right. Now this one we have OSHA S tier.
Yeah. Because we're getting a Papa Fur already.
We know we're getting a Papa Fur, right? So it's got to definitely be S tier. Like the character, think it's cool. Think we have a dyad. I think that I honestly really believe this is the dyad that Palpatine talks about later. I really think this is it because it's generations. He didn't say centuries or anything like that. So, and maybe there's another one after. Who knows? I definitely think this is something he's referencing, and that would be one of the few tie-ins that would be cool because we don't need to have a lot because it's its own time period. But I do think that's kind of neat if they are a dyad, which I don't know about you. I think they are.
Yeah, I feel like they make more sense as a dyad than Rey and Kylo because they're actually twin sisters who are clearly on opposite sides of the Force.
100%. I agree with that. And we kind of get that dyad again through Luke and Leia, which is interesting because I when you look at Luke and Leia, both, leaders of the rebellion, but you really have Leia not using the Force, but being such a great inspirational person to lead the rebellion. I think that speaks volumes when we have a female character, especially with all that negativity going around that we've been hearing about the show. Lest we forget, Carrie Fisher played the princess that didn't necessarily need rescuing, right? Or when they finally do rescue, it's not the greatest plan, and she's going to get these guys out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really, really kind of think that that'd be cool. The next one we got on the list is a droid. We got Pip. What are you thinking about Pip here?
I just feel like it's such a tiny droid that I don't know how they would do it as an individual pop. Like, I feel like it would be like this huge platform and then like a little like speck on the platform. So I like that.
I'm thinking they do it like they did
like how they have
Dio or whatever.
Yeah. But
make him a whole like a normal pop size, but I put B tier.
I mean, we are getting Pip with OSHA, which I feel like is more appropriate than like a standalone Pip.
Yeah, he is coming with her.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got next? Oh, this guy. All right, I want your opinion on this dude. So this is one of the guys. He had that kind of Lobot kind of stuff going on, and then the face. This to me looked very Mad Max. If you remember Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, there was the small man that would kind of sit in the baby Bjorn of the big beast that fought Mel Gibson in that movie, you know. And this, to me, when I saw this guy, gave me very much Mad Max Beyond the
Yeah.
Thunderdome vibe.
He also looks like some character, like some cartoon character that I think Will from Will of the Forest or Diamond Figs like kind of mentioned or like
Oh,
posted
really?
about. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's like such a unique looking character. So I don't know.
I thought he was cool. I don't of all between him and Snakehead guy,
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. But I felt that this guy would be probably easier to make than Snakehead Man. I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought he was kind of cool. I thought he was kind of
Yeah,
groovy.
he was cool.
Uh,
I just feel like he was such like a
B,
minute character though that I don't
yeah,
know.
B, C, D. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I can go B or C.
I'll put him down in C because he wasn't like a
I thought he was
major.
cool. Yeah.
Cool. What he
But
did with the droids was cool. They turned them
yeah.
back into chairs. That was cool. That was cool. That was a neat thing. Like, imagine that autopilot, the chair becomes the pilot robot. That was kind of cool. I thought that was a neat little take. All right,
Yeah.
what do we got here? This is Yord in the brown robes. So I'm gonna move him to S tier because we know we're getting that for sure.
We are.
So it's not like a wish, but we are getting that. We're getting with the yellow lightsaber, but what would be cool is if we had that kind of stun gun thing that they had. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, but I can almost see them maybe doing that more with like OSHA.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see another one of her coming out, something like that. Since we're talking about Yord, what about Swole Yord? Do you think we'll see him as a Funko Pop?
I don't think we'll get like a shirtless Yord, but I just thought it was funny, like Jackie being like, "Put your clothes on."
I put him down as D. It was more for comical sense, but I
Yeah.
thought it was funny to see him like that. I think it gave some eye candy for those that like that actor.
Yeah.
I know my wife was like, "Who's that guy?" She was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "He's the new guy. Yord. We don't know much about
It
him."
is Yord Fandor.
Yeah.
Or what's his name? Charlie Barnett, I think.
My wife has a thing for Charlie, so I'll be honest. She likes the name Charlie. She loves Charlie Hunnam, you know. So that's kind of funny that his name's Charlie. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny because it reminded me of Ben Swallow, you know. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was fun to have in the list here today. And then our last one is I don't know. Is it Quamir?
Oh yeah, kindly or something like that.
Yeah, we are getting him.
Yeah, we
But
are.
even if we're getting him, I think we should put him as A as opposed to S.
Yeah,
Because
I feel like he's a sleeper right now.
he is. I feel the vibes like you are. Like I do think there's more to this one. Let's peel some more of the onion layers off. And I think we're gonna see something possibly quite horrifying about this guy. I honestly don't think he is the loser they're making him out to look like. I don't think that is the case. I definitely think there's going to be something more going on with him. Do you think he's the guy behind the mask?
I feel like that would just be too easy. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like I kind of just want to let it unfold, but I can kind of see like where people are coming from. Like maybe he is the guy under the mask, maybe he's nothing, maybe he's like May and him are going at it to be the acolyte, like that one of the two are going to be the acolyte, maybe neither of the two are going to be the acolyte, and the guy in the mask is just like using them to do his bidding. I don't know. I feel like there's multiple avenues that they could take with this character that I feel like I kind of just got to sit back and let it play out.
Yeah, I just thought they kind of played him off to be like this lazy, drunken. And I say drunken, he seemed like he was passed out, right? And May was giving him crap, but I just think like maybe by doing that kind of makes me think of that drunken master in kung fu because we're seeing a lot of martial arts kung fu takes from this. And it kind of gave me that vibe of that he might be that kind of that drunken master. Like he seems drunk, but he is totally a badass. I have this feeling they're kind of throwing that character as something like that. Like we're not taking him seriously. He's some quirky dude, and he's going to be bigger than you think, and kind of just out there like Senator Palpatine was. And we learned he's the Sith Lord, Darth Sidious, and the Emperor. So I don't know. I think that could almost be too easy. But again, 2 episodes into it, that's the vibe that people are getting. So who knows?
Yep, they're getting a lot of vibes from him. So I don't know.
Yeah, and he seems to spout a lot of knowledge, right? Like, but both politically and because he seems to really know a lot about the Jedi, like really preachy about it. Like the way they are and this and that, and helped May really figure out how to get that other Jedi Master. I think there's more to it. And so if he took over the drugstore, the apothecary, what happened to that guy? Oh, well, he's wearing his clothes. Like he's wearing his clothes. Like,
yeah,
like kind of odd. Like there's little things that are said that are kind of odd. I'm like, that's interesting. Why would you do that?
It kind of seemed like they like he kind of just like got rid of them, like to kind of acquire that space for the meantime.
Yeah.
But like, did May have a hand in helping them? Like, is May I don't know though. I feel like that was very up for interpretation.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting too because the one guy reminded me of a Game of Thrones character that was in the library. That one Jedi who was holding on to the little girl that like helped May break in, and then he's like, "Oh wait, he's not there." That's not our usual guy. That guy, I don't know. I just felt like they were trying to make points about this guy, what's going on in other ways than just having direct interaction with him. Like hearing tidbits of stuff to kind of, well, that's not the usual guy. Okay, but are you hinting at something larger by saying that, or is it just for what it's worth, in that scene? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm enjoying it, man. I am enjoying it.
I am as well.
Oh, we got some more. Woodrow Call. What is that? Hold on.
Maybe that's the guy's name.
Okay.
Possibly, I don't know.
Oh no, no! I know what he's talking about. Woodrow is from Lonesome Dove.
Oh,
that's one of my wife's favorites. Yes, one Lonesome Dove reference. I got that. I got that one, Lock. Zed's dead. Not our usual guy.
The apothecary.
Yeah. Fat Lobot was the coolest character in Acolyte. I thought he was pretty cool looking. I just got that man. He kind of reminded me of the character from Mad Max brought into Star Wars world, and it worked. Whether it's inspired by or whatnot, he just worked. He worked. He was just odd, had that quirkiness. Even the very, very first scene, very first few frames, the cinematic of that when May turns around and looks onward into the village, it looked very Star Wars. It felt like somewhere I've never been, but it felt also familiar from having been to Batu. It kind of had that. I love the color of it with all the purple that May had. She kind of had a very Eastern flair to her, in her outfit and her disguise. Loved all that. And I just loved how the whole thing was set up. And then that creature that kind of looked like the anteater kind of thing, but he had like the red, orangey, bulbous kind of eyes and mouth thing. That was cool. What is that?
That's what Will posted, and I was like, interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was interesting. But again, I thought we had more of the things that feel Star Wars in this than we have seen, especially in Andor. Like I didn't really see any aliens in Andor except for two tubes, really. So seeing so much more of that galaxy far, far away that felt familiar when you walk into a canteen or anything like that, I loved it. I don't know if that bartender, like I had called out earlier, if he was a callback or Easter egg to a character or at least the species that is bartending in the Oculus game. So I don't know, but I'm loving what we got. I'm loving what we got. I mean, I don't know how there could be so much toxicity amongst the fans over this. I really don't, Lex.
Are you talking about the Cantina Lack that just got announced? With all the different characters and stuff?
Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah, I think it looks great. If that's what you're talking
like
about,
are you gonna get that? Are you gonna get the basic or the deluxe cantina?
So I think if I was to get a cantina, I would get the Lego one, the Ultimate Collector Series one. I'm not super big. I like how the vintage collection stuff looks and things like that. I just don't collect them. I like reviewing them and kind of like taking a look at them. I only have a handful of them, but I think if I was to get a cantina and really put that much money out there, it would be the Lego version.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, devil's advocate. Since you do 3D printing, would you get a file and print parts of the cantina yourself, or would you buy that?
I mean, I think I could. If I would really wanted to put myself to the test, I would totally print it. I think if I really wanted a cantina set, but I couldn't afford either the Lego or the TVC one, I could just try to piece together my own. But yeah.
See, I'm torn on that. I like it, but I think the extra 3 bays you get with the deluxe are a little much. For $100, I don't know. You get a lot of cups. You got a lot of cups and stools. I'll be honest. They when I watched that live, I was like,
well, what's the cost of it? Do you know?
I think it's $3.99 and $4.99, something like that.
Because that's how much the Lego one is.
Yeah.
The Lego one's $400.
So,
but it's about to retire as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's really cool looking. It looks super detailed. I just have no idea where I would put it. But it looks I mean, it looks great.
I'd get it just to use parts of it to make dioramas out of. I'm thinking if I do one, would I back a basic? But I'm like, for extra $100, you get the other bays, and I could do more. I'm torn. I'd like to say I'll do it, but where the hell am I going to put the whole thing? So I'm thinking if I got it, I'd have to break it up into my shelves, over the shelves over here and some over here, and maybe kind of use it to display my Funkos with. Because again, I don't really do TVC figures. I do have the HasLab Razor Crest, and I've got the HasLab Ghost coming. So,
but how does it scale to Funkos? If you were to use that as a diorama piece.
So for me, I would think that they do pretty decent because usually your vintage, the TVC, are 3 1/4. A pop is about 4 inches. Bless you. It's about 4 inches. So I think for the most part they scale
close,
right? And again, you're playing with juxtaposition. So if I'm putting the cantina in the background, right, in the background, and my pop's closer, well, it'll look. It's a perspective, so it would work. But I still didn't get the bunker yet from Endor. I still I wanted to get that. I still like to get that piece. That would be kind of cool. And then well, not everything happens in a cantina. Cantinas are cool for all my crazy alien characters that we get. I don't know. If I do it, I don't know what I'll do. If I get it or.
Oh yeah, I mean it's 500 at least for the basic one. It's $500 USD. But I feel like if I was to spend that money, I would spend the 500 on the Lego set and just have that because I'm more of a Lego collector. But I think overall, I really like the vintage collection stuff. I really liked the Ghost. I really liked a lot of the stuff that they've done. Honestly, I just myself am not a TVC figure.
Yeah, I think the only reason I've gotten the Razor Crest and the Ghost is I think it's just the post-traumatic stress of being a child growing up in the late 70s, early 80s when they came out, and never being able to afford the Millennium Falcon. And that was always the one I couldn't get. You can get the X-Wing, you can get the Land Speeder, you can't get that.
Yeah.
So and then as an adult, you're like, God damn it, I have money and I'm gonna buy that ship now. That ship that I couldn't get, that didn't even have back then. Well, I'm getting it now.
Yeah, that's how I feel. When you have adult money, you can go buy the things. And I think that's why a lot of us have become collectors, is because there's a lot of things we wanted when we were younger, and now we've got adult money and adult space and no one telling us no. So you go and collect the things that you wanted as a kid. So I think it's a big part of
100%.
collecting.
I mean, that's the one thing I am glad that I got involved in content creating, because a lot of this stuff sat in boxes.
Yeah,
Like finding
pretty much.
even figures that I had signed, like totally waves of like, oh my God, I forgot all about this. It was like reliving the memory of even getting it again. Like, oh, there's a reason, there's a great story behind this. And I was so happy. So I've been very excited to have a collection room. Now it's become the room of, I'm almost nervous to have the kids down here at all with their friends, because they were down here the other day. My son was down here with his friend, and I was like, don't touch anything. Don't
Get out of here. Get out.
You do not need to be down in
Go
this room
back
anymore.
upstairs.
You gave this room up. You said you didn't want to be down here any longer. You weren't going to watch TV. We're going to play your Xbox or PlayStations down here.
Go
So
upstairs.
Yes, exactly.
Be anywhere but here. Yeah. Yep. I get it. But
You want to see the room? Credits will do fine.
you can look, you cannot touch. But
Exactly.
I think that pretty much wraps up today's episode. So Patrick, when you are not here with me and usually our other co-host Chris, where can people find you?
When I'm not here with you and Chris and sometimes a special guest, I'm on my own channel over at Poptography. And if you check out the other social media outlets, it's Poptography YT. I'm doing creative images of Funko Pops as well as unboxings. And I've recently started a new venture with my friend Brandon over at Clan Brandalorian. We actually had our first episode last week of Bricks and I forgot to mention it when we did our podcast. But we're doing Bricks and Pops. So it is a once a month recap of all the Lego and Funko Star Wars related stuff. So we, for our pilot, we did a little segment just on the Rebuild the Galaxy Lego show that'll be coming out, or mini movie or whatever that is, with Darth Jar Jar and all the excitement of that. So that has been kind of fun in its own, because I'm starting to learn a lot more about Lego thanks to you, making sure that I was caught up and learning a lot more. So it's been very educational. And we have a common friend that was trying to have some fun with me. So Will, who is a proud new papa of a Padawan, he sent me a little thank you and wanted to thank me, and also wanted to kind of lead me down the dark path. So he got me a Lego Boba Fett mini little slave one. So I thought that was funny. He said that was because we led him down the dark path with soda. So I was very pumped for that. But so it's been nice having Bricks and Pops. Again, it's a once a month show where we recap all the rumors, all the stuff that's releasing in the stores, finally shipping, things like that. It's kind of like the Star Wars Popcast, but a little bit different with a little more reach and a different co-host. So it's kind of fun. And I know if you haven't seen Christopher on Seriously Star Wars, check his stuff out. But also check out him and our good friend Eric are now doing a show, The Rebel Rewind. So if you haven't checked that episode out, I think they've done 1 or 2 episodes already. Please check those out. Those are really cool. But enough about me and Chris. Lex, when you're not on here with the two of us and special guests, what are you doing? Where can they find you?
Well, when I'm not here with you guys, I'm on my own channel, which is Jedi Lex, and I kind of just do everything and all things Star Wars. I am, for the next few weeks, going to be doing the Acolyte reactions. Acolyte Reactions, which I've been thoroughly enjoying so far because it's been a great series. I don't know. And I've met a lot of great people through going on other channels, such as Lack. So it's been really fun kind of just getting out there and meeting other people. But we will go ahead, and I think we've already put all of our links down in the description. So make sure to check out Patrick and Clan Brandalorian, as well as Eric and Seriously Star Wars. Just, go check out all of our channels. We're all doing very great stuff that's all Star Wars related. And then we meet every Saturday to talk about Funko Pops. So it's kind of where we are at. And we appreciate everybody coming and joining us for our 71st episode. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, crazy. It is crazy. And also, if you're not just checking out Lexa stuff, check out Beyond Tatooine. Love it. You love it. And you're getting some really great guests on your show. Like, you're really raising the level. You're really doing. You become a Padawan to a master in no time. Getting
out there. But we won't hold you guys up anymore. So have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see everybody next Saturday.